Joining us on the phone this morning here on Indiana in the Morning on WCCS is Brad Adams with the Homer Center School District. And Mr. Adams, thank you very much for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me this morning.
All right, so let's start off with what you do in Homer Center. I understand you are with the 3D printing and STEAM lab areas?
Yes, that's one of the classes I teach. It's more of a STEM type class. I also teach robotics and physics and 7th grade science.
Excellent. So what gave you, what was the inspiration behind using some of the 3D printing equipment, I guess, that Homer Center has in some other areas, to start making these items of personal protection equipment?
Well, it was actually two things that were happening at once. On one end, I was talking to some of my students that were wanting to do something with the skill set that they have while they're sitting at home. They felt like they should pitch in and help the community somehow, didn't know how just yet. And then at the same time, I was talking to Dr. Sturm at IRMC, Dr. Creeley, Sean Derry, and Sharon Massey at IUP, and they're also opening up a STEAM shop at IUP in the Robert Shaw building. And they were looking for ways that they could make some medical equipment, anything to help out, whether it's PPE or the swabs themselves, so our community doesn't get behind the curve on testing. So
okay.
So once I was having the conversations with them, I would carry over to my students. My students said, well, why don't we go ahead and make the masks? And Dr. Sturm took a couple of our prototype masks, which we didn't engineer. We're just producing them. And she gave them to the administration. The administration said, let's go. Let's do this. So my students started printing as soon as we got word from Mark Richards at IRMC. He said, give us everything you have.
All right, so where are these masks being printed? Are they being done at the school or at Robert Shaw? Where?
The masks so far are being printed all over Indiana County within the Homer Center School District. I've got some in my basement. I've got a couple of students at their houses, in their kitchens, in their basements, anywhere that they have room to put a little 3D printer. We distributed 2 printers. Some of my students have their own at home. Once they started taking the class, they purchased them. And then one student in particular, he's the one that taught me how to use a 3D printer. He's had one for years.
Mm-hmm. So it's basically every 3D printer within the district is being used for this, it sounds like.
Right. We're just cranking them out.
Now, as I understand it, you've received word from other school districts in the area?
Yes, sir. We've had a gentleman from from ICTC. He called up and said, hey, I've got one at home. What can I do? There's a gentleman within Penns Manor School District. He said, I can get my hands on some. And a guy yesterday from Indiana School District said, I'm going to get all set up here. Tell me what I need to do. So everybody's really coming together within the county. The county has a lot of heart.
Talk about how many visors, or I guess masks, I should say, you're going to be able to print in a session or two.
Well, once we get up and running and everybody has their print bed leveled and ready to go, running full speed, they're about a 3-hour print. So if you set it, forget it, walk away and come back and get another one going, I would guess you can make about 4 or 5 each day. So if we've got 10 printers going, that'd be about 50 a day, about 250 a week. Depends on how many hands on deck that we have.
That sounds amazing. Now, that's just printing the brackets, from what it sounds like. And how are you guys going to handle the plastic for the face masks?
Well, I started off just wandering through Walmart trying to find a clear sheet. Those are kind of costly at this point. And then Mr. Rainey and Aaron Collins found a few in storage at Homer City School, Homer Center High School. And then I ordered something online. It was for a front of a clear report. I'm not sure what exactly that was, but I got 200 of those that should be delivered on Saturday. But I'm sure somebody around town probably has a better solution that's a little bit more cost efficient. You 3-hole punch it, you slap it on the mask, and you're done.
Wow. So it's just that simple, it sounds like.
It's very simple.
We're talking with Brad Adams of the Homer Center School District. He and his students, along with some people from IRMC and IUP, are working on making some personal protection equipment for people at Indiana Regional Medical Center. And Brad, this has just sounded like a great volunteer effort from the students. Talk about it. from their perspective, because they said they wanted to use the skills that they had in order to help the community during this crisis.
Right. In my 3D printing class, we've got a variety of tools, being a laser etcher. Some kids had printed parts to make a CNC machine. A lot of kids are producing odds and ends on 3D printers. They've got this built-up skill set that they really enjoyed that class. So they wanted to do something using the tools that we have, although we couldn't get inside the school due to the lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
But they wanted to be a useful part. Their hearts were yearning to not just sit here. I think everybody feels like we're just sitting on our hands waiting for something where we could be helping out. A lot of people are volunteering in different places. These students felt like they should be volunteering and using the technology that they have.
Now, Brad, one of the other things that you mentioned is the fact that this is being done at everybody's houses, so everybody's working and they're doing so safely and trying not to spread COVID-19, keeping with the governor's orders.
Correct. Everybody's staying home and working hard.
All right. So once everything is produced, I'm assuming it's going to be taken to or to a location where things will get assembled there?
Right. I'm assembling the screens on the front of the shields, and I'm dropping them off with Dr. Sturm.
All right. Now, the students that you have, are these all seniors or juniors or what?
These would be sophomores, juniors, and seniors. It's the first year for this class.
Oh, it's the first year for this class, and they're already getting to work on this.
Yeah, it's a talented bunch of kids.
All right. Is there anything else that you wanted to add about this topic? Because this seems very fascinating that these kids are pitching in to help out IRMC.
They're pretty excited to be a part of the solution. This is a real project-based, hands-on learning experience you're not going to get anywhere else, for the fact that this is really going on in real time. So I think that's a real resume builder for these students to put their heads together and come up with this idea.
All right. Well, Mr. Adams, thank you very much for joining us this morning on Indiana in the Morning. We wish you and your students and everybody that's taking part in this project all the best, and we hope it's a great success not only for the students but for Indiana Regional Medical Center. Again, thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you very much. And if anybody wants to pitch in that has a 3D printer, they can give Homer Center a call, get my phone number. I'd be glad to talk to you.
Excellent. Thanks again.
Have a great day.